My parents snickered, saying you'd never measure up to your sibling. I rose to my feet and replied, well, then have him cover every expense. I'm done wiring funds from now on. My mother looked stunned. What funds? We haven't gotten even 1 cent from you. My name is Alex. I'm 28, the eldest child, the reliable type, the fellow who stocks extra batteries and tucks away emergency funds in a plastic pouch. I settle my lease payments promptly. I arrive ahead of schedule. I haul portable seats to relatives' barbecues since we invariably lack enough. If someone queried my folks to sum me up in a single term, they'd choose dependable. For the next descriptor, they'd pick subdued. My little sibling, Jordan, is the total reverse. Jordan's the narrative, the soccer squad standout, the person whose grin gets servers tossing in complimentary suites. Jordan's the individual my folks adore boasting over. Each household bulletin morphs into a Jordan success montage. Fresh position, fresh vehicle, a contact in property who links to a major figure. They utter it like a ritual, evidence that our clan is thriving since Jordan's excelling. I once quipped that I served as the ambient tune while Jordan took the spotlight as vocalist. But the quips lost their humor near age 22, when I pulled extra hours and yet appeared to troubleshoot the internet and swap out bulbs at my folks' home, because father's spine aches and mother ought not climb steps. They seldom inquired about my well-being. They inquired what task I could handle. 2 months back, we gathered at my parents' eating area for mother's celebration. The dwelling carried the scent of citrus polish and baked fowl father wore his finest shirt for. Uncle Tom kept adjusting the blooms as if that would elevate the space's elegance. I delivered a vegetable pastry from the shop mother favors, the variety topped with dense cheese icing. Jordan sauntered in tardily without pastry, without note, merely a beam and a tale of nearly encountering a venture capitalist. The group chuckled as if Jordan had claimed a trophy. We took seats. Mother unwrapped presents. A wrap from Uncle Tom, a wax light from father's office mate's spouse. Jordan presented a tiny package, studs, authentic metal, Jordan noted with a playful eye. He omitted who footed it. Mother inhaled sharply like she'd received the stars. I can't explain why I anticipated appreciation for the pastry. That's my fault. Then father topped off his drink, eyed me, and remarked it. You realize, Alex, you'll never match your sibling's level. He snickered as if it were a benign remark. Mother snickered as well. The gathering chimed in. Jordan guffawed most vigorously. I perceived it as a declaration, not humor. I laid my utensil aside. My face warmed. In my mind, I tallied 11 cycles of handling their power charge last year when father's shifts reduced. 31 fuel stops following mother's vehicle requiring minor aid. 22 wire moves tagged provisions since the cooler was bare and your sibling faces cash gaps. I tallied like inhalations. Gosh. Uncle Tom uttered, observing me. Avoid overreacting, dear. I wasn't weeping. I was numb. In that hush, mother appended softly. We simply desire you to aim higher, nothing more. I grasped my beverage. The container trembled slightly. I instructed myself to gulp it down. Grin, crack a wisecrack, preserve harmony since that's my role. But then Uncle Tom addressed Jordan and declared, you're truly the pillar of the home. And mother agreed. A faint chuckle emerged from father's direction. He's the one we count on. I can't pinpoint why that struck deepest, but it did. The term count hit solidly. It struck the segment of me that maintains logs of deadlines and wire logs and invoices, the segment that commits account digits and network codes, and the precise type of cooler cartridge to memory. I uttered no syllable. I assisted in removing dishes, packing remnants, scrubbing the surface. When I fetched my coat, mother embraced me sans eyeing my expression and murmured, attempt not to envy your sibling. En route out, Jordan patted my back. Don't internalize it, buddy. Beyond, the entry glow wavered. I lingered beneath it, ignition in grip, overhearing their mirth via the pane. I recalled the payment alert from that dawn. $2.20 to mother. Provisions, I dispatched it instinctively as usual. My device vibrated, a message from mother. We adore you. Fetch napkins next occasion. We're depleted. No affection icon, no appreciation. Merely a roster. I motored back in quietude. I stowed the vegetable pastry container in my cooler, though it was partially vacant. I perched on the sofa and gazed at the invoice directory in my correspondence that I'd compiled over years like an odd pastime. Tiny emerald ticks, $80, $115, $400, $900, it merged into haze. The following dawn, father rang and dropped a recording I ignored. Hi, son, avoid theatrics. Clan banter. I replayed it doubly. Then I launched my finance program and perused, and perused, and perused. That evening I grasped the prank targeted me, and amid that grasp, as I verified the timestamp of a move tagged services, my display illuminated with a collective discussion alert. Clan meal this Sunday, 6 p.m. Recall, mother composed. I fixated on the phrasing for an extended spell and sensed an inner shift. The funds commenced at 21 when I believed aiding was the mark of dutiful offspring. Father dialed January 1 post-blizzard. Electricity charge is elevated this period. Could you lend $120? Repayment Friday. He skipped repayment Friday. He skipped repayment forever. Yet he queried anew in February, lacking fuel cash. Solely till salary day. Then March, provisions, your mother's extending it thin. I held a support role at a device help station, earning $17.50 hourly. I resided in a compact unit with an unsteady surface and a lounge I sourced from social marketplace. I lacked abundance. However, I could allocate $50 sporadically, $75 occasionally. It conveyed usefulness. I convinced myself I fostered reliability. By 24, it transcended lend. It became pattern. Each month start, $300 tagged services. Each third Sabbath, $80 fuel. Arbitrary midweeks, $40 to $100 provisions. It summed near $650 monthly for nearly 4 years. Certain periods exceeded. When their auto demanded fresh rubber, $480. When their heater failed, my plastic, merely for initial sum, $250 that morphed to $250 added $250 added. Will balance subsequently. There existed Jordan crises that weren't crises. Jordan requires $200 for credential test sign-up. His lessor acts harshly. Can you fund partial lease this period? Jordan endured lean freelance phase. Jordan perpetually had a yarn, I perpetually had a dispatch. We never discussed repayment. It was unspoken. All remained unspoken in my kin. Aid, appreciation, obligation. Naught was documented, yet all etched in my program. I attempted limits once. I informed mother I couldn't dispatch till I restored my reserves. She exhaled. Will perish heir requesting anew. That vow endured 2 weeks. She messaged a provision roster and affection. I dispatched $100. I dispatched for I recognized barren cooler pangs, and since she invariably uttered solely this instance with that anxious tone that unlocks purses. It transcended funds. It was duration. I mended their network. Mounted a temperature control. Swapped a washroom spout post-viewing 3 tutorial clips. I ferried Jordan to evaluations, revised his profile. I even permitted him my locale when he avoided mail shifts. Deliveries commenced bearing his label. Footwear. A flyer device. A play gear. While mother messaged visuals of vacant storage, whenever I noted fatigue, father quipped, "That's maturity, son." Whenever I raised equity, Uncle Tom declared, "Clans lack balances." Yet in our abode, the balance resided in my grasp. The bias lacked subtlety. If Jordan arrived without her fare once, mother termed him lavish for days. If I managed dual periods of their energy charge, she noted, we're all contributing. On father's occasion, I reserved a feast for our quartet and covered the tab. "You ought not," father remarked, then pivoted to Jordan querying his grand schemes at a firm where he lacked employment yet. The harshest element was their instant narrative tweaks. Harvest feast prior year, Uncle Tom queried who aided the heater. Mother beamed at Jordan. Our lad placed inquiries. I eyed my finance display beneath the surface and spotted repair initial $250. I remained mute. It's simpler to hush than earn dramatic tag. Meanwhile, my existence stayed modest. I wasn't faltering, but perpetually that single charge I'd delay weekly, that single meal I'd forego with companions since I'd dispatched $200 at afternoon for pressing auto coverage. My reserves stalled. When office peers plotted a brief escape, I feigned alternate schedules. I possessed a log. I formerly believed they ignored, that perhaps specifics blurred in their thoughts, but they recognized. They recognized for mother would declare items like, "You're so trustworthy," then append, "Since you're adept with cash." Father would ring on salary day and merely verify. Jordan would message, "You're a rescuer, pal." Repayment upon my bonus lands. No bonus landed. Fresh footwear did. 3 instances protrude. Initial, the Yule where I presented mother a heavy cover and she clasped me like I'd offered a cloth at exercise. Jordan granted a relaxation pass he acquired gratis via acquaintance and she wept. At night's close, I discovered an adhesive label on the surface. "Alex, could you transfer $150? Lease shortfall." Second, the instance my auto required stops. I selected amid funding my repairman or dispatching $220 to folks for delayed energy. Pressing. I funded theirs. 3 weeks on, mother shared a visual from eatery on social net. Essential evening outing. I magnified the stemware till details fractured. Third, the evening of citrus polish, the you'll never equate guffaws, the term count like a stone in my core. That evening post their collective alert on napkins, I perused to my inaugural dispatch. January 14th, 2019. $120. The annotation read solely till Friday. I totaled it. I reached $28,940 prior halting. I omitted paper invoices, fuel stops, or the climate mend I charged for credits unused. $28,940 equates a fresh auto or initial stake or buffer ample to recline sands rousing to alarm at 3 a.m. I pondered outputting the roster. I pondered enlarging captures. I abstained. I brewed infusion. I sat with hush. I strived to label the sensation. It wasn't rage, it was exhaustion, a partition thud, when father's recording arrived next dawn. Clan banter, I grasped this lacked humor, it was structure. They crafted tailies, I supplied chain. And since structures persist till one yanks a cord, the subsequent message arrived punctually. Jordan, available, $400 lease deficit this period. I'd query mother-father, but they're strained. Reimbursement when feasible, you're top. He appended a muscle icon. I fixated on display extendedly. I composed, permit reflection. I deleted. 2 days on, mother messaged, require you Sabbath. Father reviewed charges and it's grim. Fetch your ledger. A grin icon. Fetch your ledger. I captured. I omitted response. I claimed a labor-free day and launched vacant file. At Summit, I inscribed dispatches. I enumerated timestamps and sums for dual hours. I outputted it. 9 sheets. I inserted them in a bargain folder from discount outlet. I lacked certainty on usage. But I recognized I ceased feigning this was vapor. Sabbath arrived with that dense, storm prep warmth. I stationed auto 2 dwellings distant and bore a provision sack, since arriving vacant-handed forfeits debate pre-start. Within napkins, I chimed entry, father unlatched like a headmaster. Mother sat at surface with abacus and pile of casings. Jordan reclined on edge perusing device. At last, mother stated cheerily, we discussed our strategy. Excellent. I uttered and placed sack. Father struck abacus. We've crunched figures. Amid loan costs and cost surges, we require clan method. We're pondering all donate periodically till steady. All. Jordan repeated, gaze down. I extracted folder and placed on surface. Pre-discussing strategy, might we address prior 4 years? Mother winked. What's this? Invoices I noted. Funds I've dispatched for services, provisions, auto men's, lease. Entirety, I may have overlooked some. Father's lips firmed. Alex, this lacks moment for auditor role. It's precisely moment. Mother extended for folder, leafed pages, and scowled. What funds? We haven't gotten 1 cent from you. Chamber hushed, not reflection hush. The hush of denial descending like mist. I avoided elevation. I propelled device over surface. Launched finance program. The dispatches reside there. Annotations, timestamps. If desired, I can output records. Father repelled device like flame. This lacks courtesy. What's discourteous is altering my existence while seeking my ledger, I noted. I've managed charges since 2019. I could recite them sequentially, but peruse. Jordan elevated gaze. Pal, why render odd? It's kin. Precisely, I noted. Kin doesn't negate facts upon exposure. Kin expresses appreciation. Mother's gaze sparked. Post all we've provided you, the classic reel you're hurling funds in faces. I'm not hurling, I'm recognizing. I inhaled. My grips held firm. You've leaned on me years. You've termed me trustworthy, then mocked my reserve while designating me payer. Today I'm not reserved. Father inclined. Thus what seek you? Procession, award. I seek limits, I noted. No further periodic dispatches. No crisis transfers. If aid required, query ahead and embrace refusal. Jordan derided. Then instruct him to manage charges, I noted, pivoting to father. If I never equate sibling, permit favored offspring safety net. Mother rose, how bold to divide siblings. I'm not, I noted serenely. You initiated ages past. Atmosphere weighed, my pulse lacked haste. It felt deliberate and uniform like timer. I anticipated tremor, I abstained. This lacks vengeance, I appended, tone subdued. This concerns resolution. Father's mandible flexed, thus severing us. I'm terminating structure draining me, I noted. I'm not your lender, I'm your offspring. Mother fixated folder like predator. We never sought you two, you inflated. Those gifts, you cherish us, I do, I noted. And cherishing you can't signify ruining myself fiscally or sentimentally. Jordan chortled once keen. Regardless, pal, I retrieved folder, propelled napkins over edge, and advanced to exit. Alex, mother summoned. Avoid departing. You can't merely I can, I noted, grip on latch. And I shall, I exited warmth. Portal sealed behind like period. My device commenced vibrating pre-auto reach. 12 overlooked rings. Then 18, by lot entry 31. I placed device screen down on edge and prepared noodles. I consumed upright, eyeing folder like hazard. When I inspected device ultimately, 47 unopened correspondences. Mother. You're mistaken, return discuss properly. Father, you merit courtesy of dialogue, Uncle Tom. Funds lack all, darling. Jordan, you deem this heroics. I omitted response that night. I silenced alerts, scoured basin, and retired at 9:30 like dullest insurgent. I slumbered 8 hours first in months. Tuesday, the tail engine ignited. A relative messaged. Heard you erupted at feast. Sound, my elder left recording of dual minutes exhaling. Father dispatched collective on privilege and neglecting origins. Mother shared social note on youth nowadays with folded icons. I anticipated fury. What astonished was altered chronicle promptly like production airing flawed draft. Correspondences veered from, we never obtained funds, to we never solicited funds, to those gifts, to you never noted hardship. I captured each variant, not dispatch, merely to shield my recall from later skepticism. At labor, I archived folder as files, then enacted minor act feeling vast. I launched finance program and revoked 3 routine dispatches. Services, fuel, provisions, program queried, confirm. I selected affirmative. My torso felt vacant yet buoyant. Rings persisted. Mother varied amid weeping and scripted tone. We restart anew, she voiced in recording. Let's settle some. Perhaps $300 periodically. Father attempted reason. We're collective. All contribute share. Jordan dispatched transfer plea $400 with annotation lease final. I rejected. He dispatched query. I omitted. Mid-period, Uncle Tom summoned brew. No trap, vow it trap. He commenced embrace scented talc, then launched orated address I suspect prepped en route. Avoid torching spans over misconception. What misconception? I queried. He grinned manner folks employ deeming you juvenile, you shamed parents. They sense assaulted. They sensed assaulted by arithmetic, I noted. He exhaled, you know mother, she frets. She claims you omitted informing tracking. Thus appreciation valid solely sans invoice. I queried. Understood, he winked, you're harsh. I'm precise, I funded my brew and departed he morphed precision to malice. By week's end, inflection shifted. Collective chimed clan assembly Sabbath, I composed, absent, and dispatched dread revised. Mother responded swift. Deem superior now, father appended. Recall razors, Jordan messaged. Perpetual envy, pal grieves. I silenced collective. I drafted provision roster precisely desires. Fruits, noodles, fish. Variety curd I typically bypass as superfluous. I procured. I savored with utensil scale of limits. Minor utility shifts ensued. I established reserve dispatch same timestamp sums as prior to them. Observing $300 transfer to self on month start resembled aperture unlock. I reserved oral check deferred. I rang counselor and stated, require aid disentangling remorse from duty. She noted, frequent task. Evenings, urged to clarify, hummed like gnat. To dispatch extended serene message with captures and sequenced rosters and I phrases. I abstained. Clarifying to committed non-listeners is spectacle. I lacked vigor, yet pained. The throb astonished. I longed prior kin variant I strove constructing via funds and hush. Positive recalls interwoven. Mother's foul broth when ill. Father instructing tire swap. Jordan and I chuckling at absurd visuals. Simpler sustain levy deeming love. 2 weeks on rings eased. Remorse didn't, but hushed. Then distortion publicized. Neighbor dispatched mother's post-capture. Nurturing offspring tough when they overlook your offerings. Certain deem all fiscal. Replies flooded. Blessings. Endure youth nowadays. Jordan shared visual tale of fresh footwear captioned independent. I neared guffaw. I recommenced jogging, not theatrics. Form required tension outlet. 3 distances, then 4. I heeded audio on limits. Speaker noted utter refusal sans essay. I rehearsed mirror. Refusal felt covert tongue. 3rd Sabbath, date of prior fuel dispatch. I motored by folks dwelling. Ancient custom. I stationed street distant and sat spectral. Via pain, visible them at surface, my seat vacant. I sensed deprivation and ease entwined, that blends sorrow perhaps. Next dawn, fresh digit rang, father's office mate's spouse. The wax light donor. Parents endure strain, she initiated. Might you? Refusal, I noted. Quiet, you omitted completion. Lacked need, I noted. Refusal, lacked malice, was complete phrase. I terminated and sensed, fine. Week on, I received dispatch from recovery firm to folks, but rooted me for outdated form. Overdue, $312. Year prior, I'd funded silently. I relayed to mother, father, subject, your charge, not mine. Mother responded, why malice? I composed, deleted 20 editions of lacking. I sealed device. I jogged. On return, one extra dispatch inbox, not folks, from Jordan. Subject, honest. Content, all recognize you relish dangling this. Perpetual hero, desire. Felicitations, Victor, I fixated and sensed fury arrive, not boisterous, merely keen. I responded one phrase, desired son roll. He omitted reply. That evening I established fresh guidelines sounding trivial scripted. Avoid launching finance program post 9 p.m. Not therein men's kin at 9:01. I placed device rooms opposite. I slumbered. Here's current grasp. I cherish kin yet decline funding denial. I remain trustworthy sans mat. I utter refusal sans essay for others' ease. I merit not another's weariness. Merit not another's reserves. Merit not another's self-version easing their existence at my cost. I'm ceasing fund dispatch. Not rage-driven though occasionally. Not desiring suffering lack, but ceased feigning normalcy. If aid queried sincerely, explicit, respectful, decide per instance. If guilt attempt, chronicle tweak, or limits as issue, response elementary. Refusal, folder in storage, I peruse seldom, lacks trophy, record. Recall sans madness. When skepticism infiltrates, leaf page, scan lines, then seal. Lack need retally, arithmetic fulfilled, mother father yet message sporadically. They relay canine visuals, omit appreciation for aid years. Perhaps never, their tale, mine altered, commences my name Alex yet lacks reliable end, concludes dignity, constructing fresh pattern. Sabbath dawns for jogs and flapjacks, months start for shifting funds to reserves. Third Sabbath for ringing companion and scheduling uncancelled. Folder sealed. If condensed one phrase the council wished at 21, it'd read thus. Lacks vengeance, concerns resolution, and final vow to self straightforward firm. Avoid permitting any morph love to levy anew.